What is your first, when we first saw this come out, what was your first reaction? Tom Brady makes it official. He's leaving the Pats.
Well, my first reaction was sadness. You were hoping that it would work out with the New England Patriots because obviously I'm very fond of Mr. Kraft, and the New England Patriots are an elite organization. But the reality is that when you've been a superstar, when you've been the face of a franchise, when you've delivered 6 Super Bowl championships and you've been to 9 Super Bowls, and you're treated like you're just another player, at least in your eyes, that's problematic. And, you know, it just speaks to no matter what level of greatness you acquire or what have you, there are some people you run across that are incredibly pragmatic and they're devoid of the emotion and sometimes the respect necessary to be accorded to a superstar of his stature. I believe that if Tom Brady felt that he was treated better by Bill Belichick, if he felt that he was valued a bit more by Bill Belichick, I don't believe this decision would have happened. I don't know Tom Brady, never spoke to Tom Brady, but just looking on the outside, from the outside, that's what I walk away with, thinking that if he was a superstar that was valued and treated like one throughout his latter years with New England under Bill Belichick, I don't think that he would have departed. I think he would have retired a Patriot.
Max, what do you think?
I don't think it's important for him to retire a Patriot. This is the way of the NFL. Joe Montana went to Kansas City, got to an AFC championship game, by the way. And you know, I'm a Yankees fan, huge Yankees fan. I'm glad Jeter retired in pinstripes. He cost the Yankees a trip to the playoffs his last season. They batted him second and played him at shortstop. Kobe Bryant, the late, great Kobe Bryant, got a contract at the end where he barely ever got on the court in any way. The Lakers were very bad. And Tom Brady's been in actual steep decline year over year for 2 years now. Last year, when they won the Super Bowl, the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history where they rode the defense in the running game. In fact, Brady had severely slipped by all the underlying metrics, not to mention the eyeball test, from the previous year where he was still all-world great. And then this year, he was worse than last year. So Belichick had a succession plan in place. Brady did an end around to Kraft, meaning Brady was respected at the end. He got an extra little runway. And at this point, he's, you know, not an elite quarterback anymore. He wanted to be paid like one, and the Patriots didn't want to do it.
Go ahead, Steve.
Greeny, first of all, let me take a moment on your show, Get Up, to applaud Max Kellerman because he's been consistent with his position, although he tends to try and hide what he says from time to time. Max Kellerman thought that Brady was on a cliff before he went to 3 consecutive Super Bowls. And then it was 2 consecutive Super Bowls. And then it was the last Super Bowl. That's when Max was talking about.
No,
so
actually,
this decline, this precipitous, that's no actual.
Where,
There's tape on it. Don't even try it. That's exactly what happened.
He could win.
You could try to make it up all you want to with your metrics and all of this other stuff. You've been wrong for years about Tom Brady, period. You ain't getting away with that, not even on Get Up.
Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl as a shell of himself. He rode a defense to do it. And Tom Brady did the same thing at the end with the Rams.
Stephen A., let me ask you a question.
The cliff.
We know what Max thinks. Do you believe that in the right situation, because he will have his choice of some number of teams, that Tom Brady could win the Super Bowl next year at the age of 43?
Yes, I do. I think if you gave him the requisite weapons, obviously so. I think that last year he was bereft of weapons. And I think ultimately that elevated the level of frustration. Tom Brady didn't have much to work with. This precipitous decline, I'm not saying that there wasn't a decline at all last year, but I think it has something to do with who you're throwing the football to. I've never seen a quarterback that was successful throwing it to himself.
An elite defense, the greatest coach of all time, 12 wins. As soon as they didn't have a bye in the first round, they're knocked out. Like Miami and Buffalo, and Buffalo especially, ticked up. So they didn't have a bye in the first round, couldn't win the last game against Miami, got knocked out in the first round. Don't blame the weapons. Of course, with the requisite weapons, he could win. If it's Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Saquon Barkley, and, you know, Ezekiel Elliott, I'm sure he could win.
But those guys aren't all on one team. Is there one team he could go to?
They've had quarterbacks. What did they win? They've had quarterbacks. What did they win? Does Julio Jones have a Super Bowl championship? Does DeAndre Hopkins have a Super Bowl championship? Who has a Super Bowl championship?
Right. If they were all on the same team, Tom Brady could maybe actually.
Tom Brady never had all of those guys on the same team and still won 6 Super Bowls.
He threw a pick to
he never had it and still won 6 Super Bowls.
Game against Mahomes 2 years ago.
I think you are all getting.
And by the way, we know Bill Belichick is great. We got to give Bill Belichick credit where it's due. But his greatness was achieved while Tom Brady was his quarterback. Let's find out what he does without Tom Brady.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.